Lab 1. We took over the oldest cinema in Eindhoven, the Netherlands, in 2018, opened in 2019, fully open for about half a year until the lockdown. During those 3 lockdowns, we spent a lot of time to continue to work on our building, renovating it, and complete our concept as much as possible. Unfortunately, we also had to lay off a lot of people, or they left, delusionized because of the lockdowns. So effectively, we restarted last end of February when everything suddenly could reopen in Holland. So the idea, Lab 1 is inclusive in many ways. It was part of my vision, inclusivity, but it's also a necessity in Eindhoven because we exist without subsidies in a rather small city, 225,000 people, and we don't have a big stable audience for culture. And there is a very big subsidized art house cinema in our city and 2 commercial multiplexes. So I had to make this place function independently. I had to make something different than a traditional cinema or a typical club. I was always interested in mixing film and a party experience. Started Lab 1 in 2013. It was existing as an underground nomadic initiative in which I was trying to do both show rare films and do electronic music parties. I wanted to create a space in which young people would enjoy themselves in a special surrounding and a place where they would experience culture as exciting adventure. Eventually, after 5 years, from moving to place, having anything stable was not possible in Eindhoven. I decided to find some regular commercial space for rent. So we found the old Euro Cinema in 2018, who stopped due to bankruptcy. It was risky, it wasn't cheap, so I had to find a way to find more audience. Couldn't focus on the niche as before. I couldn't show only art house films or rare documentaries. I couldn't do only alternative techno parties, but I still wanted to keep a bit of alternative vibe. I didn't want to lose the brand I already had as Lab 1, and I still wanted Lab 1 to be a place of experiencing culture in a more exciting, complete way, and at the same time to be appealing to a broad audience. So I decided first to refresh the retro vibe of this old multiplex built in '77 with a lot of do-it-yourself attitude. Where am I? And I brought back the building to that time. And I added loads of nostalgic stuff. Like retro consoles, VHS tapes, laserdisc, pinball, neons, board games. I painted the building golden and name it, it's there. So there were 5 cinema rooms. The biggest one was changed into a flat floor event space with a bar, but we kept 2 functionalities there. It's still a cinema from the balcony, 119 seats. As we speak, Elvis is playing there now. And we have a big event floor below. It's used for parties, but also for shows like comedies or any other public gatherings. An important function is also business to business. We do a lot of them, there's a lot of requests. It can be rented for conferences or private events. The second room was turned completely into event party place, comedy club and meeting room. But we also want to bring back this summer pop-up cinema experience there by a sort of boutique cinema. So we bring in chairs and sofas on wheels and we do table service. And then we can play cinema. Cinema 3, 4, 5 are used primarily as studio cinema rooms. So our place functions to meet, entertain, chill, and have fun together. And at night, the foyer can also function as a party place with, for example, a DJ playing, in this case, someone with a guitar. So the rearrangement of the building allowed us to use it in segments. So we have the foyer, we have cinema 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have different events going on at the same time. More or less because the party and the cinema can collide regarding to the noise, but also they can connect because we do an event composed of a film and music experience. So all this we have to program, taking all the mentioned in consideration. So the main question is, of course, the content itself. We can't program as many European art house films as we would like to, because we need to place also quality mainstream films. Because let's face it, artistically or politically challenging films, they barely have a significant audience in Eindhoven. So, but we still do them. It works if we do them as a special event, mini festival, or a cycle of events. So the biggest audience show up for films positioned somewhere in between art house and mainstream, like Parasite, French Dispatch, Everything Everywhere Else at Once. And audience also show up for artistic blockbusters like Batman and Northman. We also do classics ranging from Tarkovsky to Blade Runner Final Cut, for example, and concert films do very well in our place. So we try to keep the vibe of old school cinema with various intriguing films, even the ones which have no advertisement. We also take care of variety. We are quite good at making space for international communities. 50% of our audience is international. We cooperate with Indian film distributors. We cooperate with ASML, big tech company, to screen films for their LGBTQ workers. We are open for hosting events for local international communities, such as Italian Film Night, recently Ukrainian War Documentary Film Night. We had a meeting with Afghan film directors along the way. We did feminist film evenings. We did Dogfeed Film Festival. And then at the same time, we are a place for party, comedy, quiz, burlesque. So working within segments, so this is the important thing, helps us to open different doors. So in the end, many different people hang out together in one place. That's what I just said. So, when it comes to other cultural events, we host board games, comedy, young design events, stand-up, quizzes, welcome evenings. Expats and internationals come live in Eindhoven. We work together with the local government. They organize welcome evenings to welcome them in our city and our place. And we do parties. So thanks to all that, LAB-1 is a cultural hub for many internationals that live in Eindhoven. We always take into consideration the language barrier and show films with English subtitles or have comedy and quizzes for English speakers. We are also open to hosting events for one community only. For example, we had recently Polish Comedy Nights, 600 people from the region, all Polish. So it's mostly just a question of balancing between a necessity to have income and keeping the cultural proposition open. Exciting, changing, surprising, and serving a variety of local people. Because keeping our identity along all those needs and ambitions is the biggest adventure of all. But I hope that thanks to our strategy, LAB-1 will be appreciated as a place which makes culture more open and closer to the everyday experience. Thank you for listening. And now I have a small film made by some students. And no, it doesn't work?
No, because of the Zoom afterwards, we can't have audio.
That's too bad. Yeah. But I'm 9 minutes. I'm done. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Okay, if you want to see the film, just you have to show it afterwards on your iPad or something. Okay, other questions? Yeah, post it on the YouTube, on the Facebook. Yeah, do that. Okay. Other questions? Yes. Hello. Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm doing it. Oh, okay. So hello. Yeah. The question is, how big is the programming team? Because you do a lot of different things, and I don't believe it's just you. So, how big of a team do you have?
I'm the programmer. We have an event manager. That's it.
So 2 people. All the different things, 2
Yeah.
people.
I'm also the technician. I'm do the marketing. This
Okay,
is
so the second question, do you have private life?
no. But yeah, it's because of the lockdowns. But we are looking for people. We have now stable bars and horeca stuff, but the management is still a problem. So yeah, we look for marketing manager, more event managers. So yeah, vacature will be online soon. Please apply. Yes, our team consists 50% English speaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the same audience who comes to the cinema to watch movie and the same who is going to the party or to the concert?
Sometimes it's the same, but also not. And this is still a challenge. We want to have the people who go to a party then also go to the cinema. So this is what we're working very hard. So all these different activities, they have its own audience, but they also mix up already. Yeah.
How did you finance the refurbishment
Um,
of the venue? Because
I am very good at finding free stuff. I go to demolished buildings. I take it from there. I find it on marketplaces. I have vintage contacts, and the money to rent the building, and now we bought it actually, came from my family. Yeah. So everything we used to renovate the place to event room, a bar, and everything we used the wood, for example, which was already in the floors. We took big tools in and we removed the wood. We used it. It was tons of wood, for example. Everything was reused. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.